Good evening. Hello,
Hey,
everyone, and welcome to The Truth
truth
Behind the
the
Truth.
Oh,
We're
wow.
so glad to have you guys in tune with us this evening on this
Yes.
great Saturday evening in the great states of the United States that have
Yes, it
finally
is.
pulling themselves together
Whew.
after, as you know, we guys talked about that last week, the debacle in Washington, D.C., but
Yes.
we'll get into that in a moment. I want to welcome our YouTube family, our Facebook family, and our Instagram family as well. Thank you guys for tuning in with us and being a part of this wonderful movement that we're doing across America and throughout the world. Truth Behind the Truth is such a unique opportunity for you to embrace your authenticity and to realize that you are enough.
Definitely.
You are
Definitely.
enough.
Definitely.
We love the opportunity of being able to come to you each and every week at this time, 6 p.m. on the 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central time, and 9 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yes.
I hope you guys did have an awesome week. You know, last week at this time, both of us, we were in the middle of dealing with COVID-19, which we have come through it.
Yes, we have.
We still have some side effects from it, trust me and believe, some heavy cough and things like that. But thanks be to God and our Creator that we have, our bodies has responded very well to the treatments and things like that we put for that has been made available to us and to make us feel better. So, but it ain't no joke, guys. I'm gonna tell you,
It's no joke.
It's no joke, and you really, really, really need to take it serious. Wear your damn mask, as we always been saying for almost a year about telling everybody to wear your mask. Okay, please, protect those that are around you, because everybody may not be as blessed as we've been to be able to get through. There's a lot of people that did not make it through this. I mean,
but you know what?
Missing a lot of people.
But you know what? For those who have not caught it yet, please. What I found out.
Don't say yet. Let's just hope.
Well, who have not? I'm sorry if that came out wrong. I apologize to those who are watching or listening. But we don't want nobody to catch it.
No.
But I noticed for a fact that I was talking to our producer about this in the midst of us having this situation, this unfortunate situation. I noticed that this. I don't want to call it a disease though, but it is a disease. But it's just it really falls. This disease attacks whatever that has been the weakest of your body.
Exactly.
I think for those who have had anybody who's ever had any pre-existing symptoms, lupus, cancer, heart disease, whatever breathing situation, or joint disease, arthritis, this COVID thing, it seems to pick and choose what it wants to go after the most. It really attacks those situations that is within your body that I feel that really is the weakest link that your body has been trying to combat.
Exactly.
And I noticed for me, for a fact, I've had some issues with my lower back before I got this COVID unfortunate situation. And I noticed that in the midst of me getting over this COVID, the fatigueness as well as the fire that was burning the bottom parts of my back, the lower part of my back was on fire. And my legs were on fire too. And I thought about it. I said, I've been having these spasms most of the time, working and pulling and pushing, doing on my job and coming home and resting and feeling all of this. But this was a situation where I felt the most pain. And I thought, I said, God, this is a situation that I need to start paying more attention to. That is very important to that is part of your body saying that, this is the message from your body saying this is the issue I've been having. And now the COVID-19 has found this out. Now it's time for you to do something about this. Absolutely. So, we don't want anybody to catch it. No, we don't. But just be aware of whatever that you might have. Just make sure that you do what is necessary to keep yourself away from anybody who has it. For those who like to go out, those who are essential workers, protect yourself at all costs.
Absolutely.
Because I'm starting to realize now with some of our employers, they're not thinking about the people who are working for them at this point.
Right.
So please be your own best friend.
Right.
Take care of your body, self-preserve, drink a lot of water, make sure you're up on your vitamins, make sure you wear your mask, make sure you wash your clothes before, if you have to take off your clothes before you go into your home with all of your family around, do that, protect them. Right. But just know that this is a very serious situation. And those who are still not taking it serious, I feel bad for you. I feel bad.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Absolutely. I mean, excuse me. Apologize, guys. It really is it challenges your body. It really does in many ways. For me, I expect I had some digestive issues anyway, you know, with not having a gallbladder. So it affected that area quite a bit with me, you know, along with this cough that I'm still trying to work through. But yeah, it's very real. I mean, it really is. And I just want to, pay homage to all of the lives that have transitioned, over the past year. From this dreaded disease, and and I don't like to call people idiots, except for the one that's about to leave the White House in 4 days. But people, I mean, please just wear the mask. This is not a conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? The disease is not a conspiracy theory. It's not a lie. It's not a myth. Okay, and people you lose 300,000 people for a myth over a year. At the end of the day. And I think that's very selfish of you to really to make those kind of decisions over people's lives, And it's also very selfish of you not wearing a mask. Yeah. I mean, Dylan and I were a part of this whole situation when it first started, and up until we were really blessed to go almost the course of a whole year without even necessarily being touched by it. But then we were working in the environment that on a day-to-day basis dealing with sick people.
That's right.
So, don't take it lightly like that. And I mean, I think that I will say that the seed you sow is the seed you reap.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're sowing that type of discord over individuals' lives because you don't choose to believe in science and what it's saying to Americans and what this disease has said throughout the world, then I think that you really need to do some self-inventory.
That's right.
I mean, you really right now, 2021 just starting out, you really need to do some self-inventory because, and then the other part about I think we said last week on the other show is that you basically, if you're thinking that way and have those kind of thoughts, you weren't even ready to come into 2021.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because what you as an individual did not gain any momentum for your individual life in 2021. You wanted to blame 2021 for all of the issues that went on, but the thing about it is that you did not want to make the adjustments in your life to make things better.
Yeah.
See, 2021, yes, is gone, but if your mindset is still in what 2021 was, what you presented to it, you still in 2021.
Yeah.
I mean in 2020.
That's
You're
right.
not even in 2021 at this particular point in time, and it's very sad to say. So change only can happen when your mind changes.
That's right.
At the end of the day, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, I was about to add on to a very legendary and famous actor just got called out on the carpet. My goodness, Bruce Willis. He was caught in a Rite Aid here in Los Angeles, and he wasn't wearing his mask. Now he had a scarf on, but he wasn't wearing his mask. Now my thing with that is, see, I don't know what to tell people of this nature, that these places that you're walking into, these drug stores, these grocery stores, or these department stores, are petri dishes for all types of COVID cases.
Absolutely.
Because let me tell you something, and I know I shouldn't be saying this, but this is reality. I had a situation this past week where I had an employer wanted me, before I even got through my quarantine, he wanted me to come into work.
Yeah, that's sad.
Now,
Sad.
for the fact that,
Excuse me for interrupting, that's sad as hell.
yes, it is.
Okay.
These people who work, I'm telling you, people who work these essential jobs, you better start being your own best friend.
Right.
Because I'm learning now to be a best friend to myself than I was before, because now it's all about me.
Right.
It's all about my health.
Right.
But you walk into these places where you feel like you have every right to not walk in with no mask. You better be knowing that you're going to catch it, because it's no telling how many employers forced their workers before their quarantine was up or before they got better.
Right.
Because the policy is in the state of California, or I don't care whatever state you live in, but for the place that I work at, all of your symptoms need to be gone
Right.
before you even enter back into that workplace.
Right.
And for my employer to want me to come into work before my symptoms have been erased.
Right.
That's very telling.
Right.
And you're walking into these department stores, into these drug stores, whatever stores that are essential. These people around you that are working around you are sick. And you're you're not taking any type of, I'm telling you people, it's real out here.
Right.
It's very real. So I'm letting you know, you think you can't catch it.
Right. It definitely is.
I caught it.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been wearing my PPE
Right.
since I moved here, washed my hands, did everything for the longest. I was working my job at the beginning of the COVID.
Right.
And I was doing well up until the past week.
Absolutely.
So I'm letting you know, hey.
Absolutely. I totally agree. You know, I mean, it's really unfortunate. But again, you know, the way that the selfish behavior that our humans have become, typically, I'm gonna say in this country right now, in terms of not caring about one another, this lesson is not over.
No,
you know what I'm saying. I mean, thank God for the vaccine and whatever the case may be, you know, and what have you. And we haven't even at this point. Yes, the vaccine is slowly rolling itself out, and we're hoping that it's going to have the effects that it is. But we don't even know what's going to happen on the other side of the vaccine at this particular point in time.
But there are no stockpiles.
You know,
did you hear about that?
Yeah, well, yeah. But what I mean is that you know, on the other side of that, after people have taken it and the existence of this virus, is it really controlling it, or is it just allowing it to be dormant for a particular point in time and it's going to explode again? We don't know this. You see what I'm saying? We really don't know this. And the best way, I think, to be in precaution is to be in precaution.
That's right.
You know, at the end of the day. I mean, because you really don't know. You really don't know what the circumstances, the situations that evolve around us. Because, I went in thinking that, hey, I was doing everything right, like we've said, and washing my hands, regular sanitizing, and we got tons of sanitizer around the house, and then everything in the car, and you know, and sanitizer when you go pump gas, and you know, and wiping down grocery things, and all that other type of stuff, you know. But it happened, you know. I mean, it really happened, and I was just truly surprised. I was really taken back by it, but it happened. It really did. But anyway, we're gonna move on a little bit. We want to talk about next week, and then we're gonna go a quick commercial break, and then we'll get into tonight's subjects. What we're talking about tonight. Okay. Next week, oh my gosh, guys! Next week is going to be a phenomenal show.
Yes,
we're going to, as we told you, 2021 is going to be some great shows coming toward you this particular year. But we are kicking off with another short series that we're starting. It's called "Men Have Voices Too."
Yes.
Okay. This show is actually going to be involving building unity and relationships among men. Okay, it's really kind of looking at this head on with toxic masculinity, the bondship between men, that men can't have general conversations without this pseudo, I gotta be a man to have a conversation, and you know, and then also building them up, encouraging them, letting them know that they're strong individuals, that they are the life givers, you know, of life. Okay, but would they need to be in a position where men need to be appreciated in that capacity, along, you know, in many ways. Mm-hmm. So this series is going to be digging into that, digging out what is true brotherly love. You know, why is there this tension between heterosexual males and gay males? Why is there tension between, you know, African American males and Caucasian males, and you know, and all those types of things. But men, we need to heal. Okay, we need to heal. Okay, in so many ways. So there's a lot of daddy issues out there. You talk about girls that have daddy issues. There's a lot of men that have a lot of daddy issues as well. So we're going to be digging into that for a few weeks with that. And we may even put together another great Zoom, smaller Zoom, but another great Zoom at the end of this short series that we're doing of this discussion that we're having among males. So, but it's called Men Have Voices Too. Actor Keith Burke will be with us next week, kicking it off, as well as actor Sean Baker. Yeah. So we're really excited about the two of them coming back, because when they were part of the, you know, their time being on Truth Behind the Truth, they brought so much strong, powerful information. Yeah. So we invited them back to be a part of this discussion and bring their insightful information to help you as our audience grow. Mm-hmm. And many more.
Oh, yeah. We got some more people coming in besides those two.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And ladies, if please, we encourage you, to set aside your time to sit back and listen to this male conversation, okay? Because there's a lot of things that you need to hear that you're not hearing as well, okay? So we encourage you to set aside the time and listen to this. And if you just can't make it the nights that the shows are on, go back into the video archive and it'll be out there for you to do as well. All right. Yeah. But we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with you. And we're back. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. We appreciate you tuning in to the truth behind the truth.
Yes.
We're always excited and glad to have you guys a part of our viewing audiences. Again, want to welcome everybody from our Facebook family, our YouTube family, and our Instagram family, and especially our UK family.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in again with us. Excuse me, tonight with us. And I want to give a shout out to our co-host Harold. Harold had a previous obligation tonight, so that's why he's not with us tonight, guys. But he'll be back here next week as usual. All right, let's go ahead and dig in.
Let's dig
in for a few minutes here and share some things with everybody. Oh boy. Okay, so let's talk about Washington just a little bit. Okay, what's going on?
Were you surprised with the impeachment? The second impeachment?
No. I think everybody was hoping for it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a little bit disappointed in the Republican, congressman that did not. Yeah, I'm glad for the 10 that did get 10. Okay.
Boy.
the others, I've been spinning my wheels. I think you and I have over and over again about this whole thing. Why this group of Republicans just don't want to, put this man in his particular, specific place.
Yeah.
Now of course, we talked about on the show many times that if it had been Barack Obama, they'd been all over it.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember when he wore that beige suit?
Oh, well,
when Michelle had
her arms out. They wanted to put him out the White House then.
Thought heaven and hell had.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
So, but I think that the time of all of that rhetoric is finally coming to an end. Now, I don't necessarily know what our future is going to be in terms of all of that, of what's going to happen, because this fool is probably going to be continuing, something once he gets out of there, once he's gone as of Wednesday thing. Oh my God, I can be so excited when we're going to be blowing horns and everything else as soon as I have. But Mother Ponder, you're going to say, but the one thing I want to bring up about that real fast is that I can believe it, but my mind doesn't want to believe it. Okay, that this is actually trying to plan an event for him departing Washington. Guys, I can't believe that this man is doing this. I mean, really, you should be running out of you should be going to was it Tuesday night at 11:59? Your ass should be going in. Matter of fact, your ass should be going now, technically. But at the end of the day, I cannot literally believe that he is trying to have a red carpet event, even a flyover, when he leaves Washington on Wednesday.
Yeah.
This to me, that is, I think that, well, then again, here it is. That's the highest level of insanity that we can see in the public viewing. Okay? Because anybody else will be in an insane asylum at this point.
But it's so Trump that it's numb to those it's numb on those who know he crazy. But for those who follow him, it follows him. I look at, anybody who sees stuff like this, that it's just not normal. Right. It's not normal, but it is to be expected. The one thing I'm getting tired of is call these people what they ought to be called. They need to be called terrorists.
Right.
They are domestic terrorists. Stop calling them whatever you want to call them.
Insurrectionists.
Yes, they're terrorists. Right. I'm so tired, and they're thugs, and they're crazy. The fact is, these people got in there wanting to kill and do and wreck shop whatever they could, and we just found out that this was planned.
Right.
We just don't know how it was, who orchestrated it, and who planned it. But there were people within who are now, even though we don't know if they're still going to do more investigation on this, but it's getting really close to the vine, too close to the grapevine, that certain people who work for the people who hey, listen, our tax money paid their salary, had planned this with people within this crazy group of the alt-right. They planned this. They found offices. They found secret offices. And I'm sorry. I'm like that Cortez lady. Somebody needs to be held accountable. I don't trust some of these politicians who been there with Trump for the longest part. Until this point, they're still talking points for Trump. Right. I think the American people need to be now more engaged with these people who are now your senators, who are now your congressmen. Right. You need to be more engaged in who is working for you right now, and start being more intelligent enough to see the real from the fake. Right. Because now I'm starting to look at some of our politicians. I'm starting to look at them kind of funny, some of them, and it's scary.
It is.
Because I don't know if you're working for me or you're working for a dictator, or you might be in the process of working for who you're working for, but it's not for people of me who has to, go to work every day, who has to survive. Right.
Take a moment and don't get to go too deep into it, but about a fascist society, and because I know you're such a we're both historian buffs, but just so that people can grasp the idea of when you have these hidden groups within groups, that this is the same procedure that Hitler did, doing before he took over Germany. And but these unawareingly, and people think that they're doing things unawareingly, and they are doing unawareingly because they don't know their history. So these people were bamboozled by by Hitler, of course, because he was the first of being able to do that. But my point of view, you elaborating on that just briefly, was the fact that to say to America, you need to understand and study your history. Not that we're repeating it, well, we were very close to repeating it, but I'm a firm believer history doesn't repeat itself in its inception, because the mindsets of people are different. However, but this situation here is that people didn't understand or have a grasp on history, so therefore they have gravitated into something they thought that was going to be better for them, such as these congressmen and all these what's the word? These other people that are out there that are these supporters of this idiot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we'll go ahead and take a moment just to elaborate, just cut it down in brief points about what happened in Nazi Germany in terms of that, and then why it is such a framework almost that happened in the U.S.
Well, let's take the Capitol, for example, as number one, as key. Okay. In 1933, there was a situation in Germany. Their capital in Germany is called the Reichstag. That was burnt before Hitler. There was a coup within Hitler's party that somebody set a fire to the Reichstag, which scared the German people. It scared them literally because they thought the communists who were against the fascists, against the Nazis, were in cahoots in trying to take down the government, which was called the Weimar government, which is correlation to our democracy. That was set up for Germans to get away from imperial rule and to now get into a more democratic society that has a constitution, that had a legislative branch, a judicial branch, and an executive branch. But that was the Reichstag, the capital, the Reichstag. Two different places, two different countries, but stand for the same principle. That was burnt down, and Germans were scared. And who revved up all of this craziness, all of this hoopla of what was wrong with the communists and who were these Marxists coming in to take over Germany when that wasn't the case? It was Hitler. Hitler got a ring of people together, and he went through communities beating up communists. He even had the country behind him in this. He had the German people behind him in this because of their fear of communist leaders coming in, taking control of what was they felt was their Germany. But the fact is that could have happened the other day, the past week, with the Capitol. You had the same set of people working for a certain person who decided to go into a place, a government, not light a fire. Probably that was the plan. We don't know because it didn't go that far. But to destroy and to wreck shop and to kill. For who? For Trump. This playbook, and you don't even have to really go back as far as Nazi Germany. You can go back as far as the Russian Revolution, as the French Revolution. As there is always a coup in place for somebody to be in power. And one of the things that really struck me was the fact that we as Americans, we uphold freedom so much, but we don't know what freedom absolutely looks like until it's probably taken away from us. Because the Germans themselves did not know what freedom was until after Hitler had died. After Nazi Germany had fell into rubble, they did not know what freedom was. They thought they were always free, even though their rights of communication, their rights of whoever they could marry, their rights, women's rights were taken away, their right to vote, to be exact. these people did not know what freedom looked like until all of a sudden World War II came, destroyed Nazi Germany, Hitler's gone, and they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So all this time we wasn't free.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a weird. It's like for us Americans, do we know how free we are?
And that was good. Didn't want to interrupt your points, which is very strong, guys. I hope you paid attention to what he just said. I mean, honestly, it's very clear. But very, very point about that is that people don't pay attention at the end of the day. It's very sad. You and I were discussing the other day, when the height of all this stuff was going on, is that, and I'll use it down to like, coworkers or colleagues that we work with, and just people around you, they're so clueless.
Yeah.
You can consider us news junkies. Now, I know how to take the good and the bad. And excuse me, not look there. There's a sensationalism behind, because when you got 24 news going on most of every channel, they've always have to have something to talk about over and over again to stay up for 24/7. But at the end of the day, when you have conversation with people and they literally don't understand the concept of what's going on around them, there is something wrong. I just can't, myself, guys, I'm just saying, I cannot fathom the idea of people not paying attention to their everyday life, or that you think that you live in this tiny little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just you and your little circle in that tiny little bubble. And then the rest of us, there's nothing else that's happening that's going on in life. Just like I know we're talking about the insurrection at the Capitol, but just like that particular idiot, the other idiot, with the horns on and the face paint and all this, the
shaman, the fake shaman.
Well, I won't even give him that.
The fake shaman.
They give him too much credit for all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But even in that sphere, this guy, his lawyer said that he heard nothing but Trump's voice. He heard nothing but Trump's voice saying to him that he had to go and be at the Capitol. I mean, what are you hearing, people?
But who also said that too? You know who also said that too?
I was about to bring them up too. But and if I'm being insensitive, okay, I don't apologize for it. I'm trying to understand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to understand the way that where are you on a day-to-day basis? I mean, you weren't on the planet at that particular point in time. It's like you're going to bring up about the Jim Jones scandal, in 1978. I mean, you have people that were, I get it, were disenfranchised, and they were looking for some sort of hope for their lives and whatever the case may be. And this man came with soothing words. But here's the thing. The soothing words should have been coming automatically from within.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? The soothing words should have already been coming from your creator.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And these are people that quote unquote call themselves believers, Christians, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And I mean, well, what are you hearing? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm just baffled.
But who also was taking orders too? Those same German soldiers who were killing all and liquidating all of these Jewish people.
Yes.
in occupied Europe. They asked them, why did y'all do this? Why did y'all go this far? We were only following orders. This is the same statement these people over the years with Jim Jones, over the years with certain
cult leaders.
Cult leaders. Mm-hmm. We were only following orders. He told us to go and we went. These people who fight critical thinking all the time.
Thank you.
Y'all need to wake up to what comes with critical thinking. When you have people telling you, in order to get closer to whatever God or whatever spiritual realm that you serve, you have to jump off a bridge, and you got millions of people jumping off bridges because they couldn't critically think in their own mind that I don't have to do this in order to get to where I need to go. But you will have people who would do that, right, who would drink a Kool-Aid and go through convulsions just to get closer to whatever just craziness that they can get to.
Right.
And it's even in America, right, you have people, and I'm sorry, this is why I don't idol worship, love Beyonce, but I will not be in nobody's beehive or anybody's Navy following Rihanna because of the fact that she doesn't pay my bills.
Well, that ain't anything to do
No,
with
it doesn't.
Right.
But that's the type of mindset certain people go as far into doing certain things with certain people.
Right.
Because homegirl told me to do it, I'm going to do it. That's dangerous.
Right.
And because my pastor, because my president, because of my teacher, and I'm not trying to say, but you cannot go. You cannot go so far into doing certain things for certain people. You have to put on your critical thinking skills, people, and say, this is not normal. This is not a me. I know who I am as an individual, as authentic. I am an authentic individual.
Absolutely.
That knows me, know my boundaries, know where I should walk, where to go. I know when to put on my clothes, when to say yes or no to certain things. You got to think before you start just saying, well, so-and-so said it was. Do your own research.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's just mistakenly. I mean, it takes me back excuse me, to the point of not deviating from what we're talking about. But this is why this other series that we're going to be doing called PSD we call it the PSD of the church, but it's really PSD of the religion, because you have so many people that are empty.
Oh yes,
you have more empty people, I think, that are in religious gatherings, on a regular basis than you do outside of that, honestly, because we run after an idea that's supposed to bring self-assurance to who you are when you have already been created with that self-assurance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You came out of the womb with that self-assurance. Now, here's the key to that. Now, I can't speak to your family situations and the circumstances and what you've been brought up in. And I know that there have been people have had some horrific experiences throughout this life at the end of the day. However, there still always comes to be a point where you have got to come back to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story of this girl that was on, I forget what the show was, the other morning, and I didn't realize I realized that people go through so many different things in life. Okay, at the end of the day, and then you hear their story, and then you wonder, like, oh my God, my story has nowhere as clear as as detrimental as theirs was. But this particular girl, she ended up at 9 years old having to take care of both of her parents.
Wow.
Her parents had the mentality of children, but somehow, okay, and I'm trying to shorten the story, somehow that her father and her mother got together and they created her. Her mother has the capacity of a 6-year-old.
Wow.
She has to go through and do everything around the household and so on. But can you imagine the struggle that this young girl had to dealing with? I mean, after she got old enough, to get in, getting past the, and Lord knows what it was like, a baby coming up to the point where I think she's 20 years old now. Mm-hmm. But the fact, and I'm not dissecting the parents' relationship, but to have laid down
and made
a child, and they weren't even mentally in a mental capacity to be able to do that. And that could go into a whole nother lot of level layers with us, guys. Which I don't really want to open that Pandora's box, but it does go back into the fact of creating children, creating responsibility, and then not wanting to maintain that responsibility or having the wherewithal or the knowledge to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? So this breeds all of the things that we're talking about right now, because it comes behind of people not knowing who they are. Go ahead.
But I hear what you're saying. I want to go back to what I was saying before, and I agree wholeheartedly to what you said, because I don't think anybody in that capacity should be making life. Right. But you'll be surprised how many toxic people in this world just all of a sudden just make life and they're not committed to, doing what is best for that life. True. But I want to go back to what I said before. For those people who are fans of certain people, I'm not trying to correlate Beyonce or Rihanna to whatever Trump was doing, but we have to be careful what we listen to and what we follow. Sometimes, as people in America, in this country, we like to follow, and we like to follow fame. Mm-hmm. We like to follow what is golden to us, And sometimes what's golden to us is not always golden.
Right.
Even with this COVID situation that's going on, we have to take into stock. We have to value what is so important in our lives. And you have people on social media who follow people, regular people like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is they have a big following,
Mm-hmm.
and they will follow them to the ends of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
trying to either lose weight, get a bigger butt, trying to get bigger breasts, a better face, makeup. We will follow people to the ends of the earth, not knowing what is so special about us, the individual,
Right.
what we bring to the table as an individual. What make us, what we don't even understand what we, as a person, what makes the world go round and round,
Mm-hmm.
what we bring. And I'm scared sometimes for myself. I love people. I'm inspired by certain people, but there are certain things I have to pull back from and say, darling, you love this person, but you don't live your life through this person.
That's right. Absolutely.
And we live our life through people that don't
Rather than
even
living
know
our lives
us.
through ourselves.
Yes.
Living our lives through the relationship that we have with our Creator. That's how we're supposed to be living our lives.
Say that one more time because they didn't hear you.
Living our lives through ourselves and living our lives through the life that is through our Creator. That's the life that we're supposed to be living through.
Yes.
Not all these pseudo people and all these other type of things that are out here in life. Not at all. Guys, we're going to have to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you in just a second.
Yes.
And we're back. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry. Trying to catch my breath
Another
there.
symptom of the COVID.
Yeah, it is.
Bear with us.
Anyways, I was saying, welcome back to Truth Behind the Truth, guys. We thank you for tuning in once again with us this evening. Our Facebook family, YouTube family, and our Instagram family, as well as our UK family as well. Hope you guys are enjoying our discussion this particular evening, which we're finding it's quite powerful.
Yeah, very deep.
As to what it is. But there's a lot of truth behind this particular truth. One of the things that I was just kind of looking at, those of you that have tuned in with us tonight, thank you for our watchers. Hey, to our cousin Twana and Mom and those that are tuned in with us tonight and watching. The one thing that I do want to say real fast to our audience, and as we are launching into 2021, is that this is a unique show, in and of itself. Our concept of Truth Behind the Truth was to really be in your face. With conversation. I mean, to shake the waters, to shake the boat, to make you really take a step back and think about what needs to be said about your own individual lives and what's going on in society. Because the number one thing that we find that people are afraid of the truth, and this is where the concept of Truth Behind the Truth came from, is to help expose the truth. But in the exposure of the truth, you become better at knowing the truth. But if you like all of these little gossip shows and all of the times, there's tons of them out there on YouTube, there's tons of them out there on Instagram, and what are they talking loud and saying nothing, y'all? I mean, who cares what Kim and Kanye are doing? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Who cares about what Cardi B and Hello 50 and all of these other people? They don't give a shit about you, and none of these people that you are following consistently got all of these millions of viewers, TikTok dancing and everything else that is out there. And you're trying to be the best TikTok dancer. I mean, okay, I could get it. Certain things are fun. I'm not trying to take the fun out of it. But at the end of the day, there comes a point where you can have fun, but yet pay attention to real conversation. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to either your pocketbook or the ways of your life or dealing with life, TikTok ain't giving a shit about you. At the end of the day, Cardi B ain't giving a shit about you. Okay, Beyonce and everybody else in between. Okay, pay attention to the truth behind the truth.
Amen.
Pay attention to the words that are coming out of our mouth and all of our guests and everybody else that's ever been a part of this show. Because it's life-changing information for your life. Yeah. Okay. We're not preachers, but at the end of the day, we got to preach the message.
And we're human beings.
And we're human beings, just like you are, dealing with real things in a real world. But we want to give you real solutions, real ideas to get out of your way of thinking, so that you can be your best authentic self. Amen. That is what we're about. But go ahead with your point.
It dawned on me most times when I'm looking and reading and watching people, this life, ever since we've been going through COVID and we've not only been going through it, experiencing it, I always look at things now and I'm saying to myself, now, this is foolish. The other day I was on my phone and some hip hop artist, I forget his name from time to time, but he was joking, because I have a sense of humor, people. I'm not always serious. I have a sense of humor. Yes, we do. But he made a point of saying that, I believe, Drake should be our next president. Now, please. I thought about that. I said, how many people who follow him and who watch him would not know that Drake is not an American. He's a Canadian. Right. But would think that Drake could be our president. Right. Just think about it. You have people who follow people with this type of, this small mindset of ignorance. It's ignorance all around. Right. But to come out on whatever social media and put that blatantly out there with a joint in his mouth saying, I think who should be our next president? Drake. Not even thinking that this man don't even know anything about what is it that sets this democracy up, but just making just stupid statements like that. Right. And some young fool who probably do not know anything about his civic duty as a citizen of this country will fall for some stuff like that. Right. As Americans, the world is looking at us. Right. We're not in this by ourselves. The world is looking at us and they are analyzing as what is going on in this country to make people do the things that they do, say the things that they say, and there is no accountability, which is now I'm happy that they're trying to put it out there. There is some accountability to the insurrection that these terrorists put up on Capitol Hill.
Right.
But I feel like they should have went a little stronger with that accountability.
Right.
They should have put some politicians under the boat.
They're still looking for them.
They need to. There needs to be some accountability for us as Americans to see that justice is being served. Because that in itself tells me if nobody is not in cuffs, if nobody's going to jail over this, then that makes me feel some type of way.
You know, I heard what you just said, but again, when you mentioned about the Drake scenario, you know, I kept thinking in my mind I was going to bring this up on the show. There's a commercial out, okay, and it's just that we were talking about basically the cluelessness, you know, of this. I don't say that. I hate to say this generation because, you know, I don't know. It doesn't put a whole lot of spin on a lot of light seeing this generation because it's too much separatism as it is anyway. But anyway, but for the sake portion of what I'm going to say, has to say this. So there's this commercial of McDonald's, okay, and they're advertising there to offer, you know, like buy 2 fillet of fish, get the other one like half off for $3, whatever the case may be, and it's got these 2 girls sitting in the car. Okay, and you've seen it.
I've seen it in the past.
And so they drive up, they get their little food, and then they start eating their food in the car. And then the one girl says, "Well, what are we listening to?" And they just both and they look at each other and they start stupidly giggling. Okay. Now people of a certain age may like me, you know, and I'm sure you probably feel the same way. And it was probably there was a classic '80s song that was in the background. Okay, of the song. So it just maybe happened in the radio in that car or whatever the play. And I just thought that was just in levels of idiocy because their mindset is that they don't even understand or appreciate levels of music. And I know you and our producer were having a conversation off doing the pre-show about that. But just even how McDonald factored that into, and I don't know if most people caught that. But it's really sad that you got a group of people, a large group of people that didn't even think like that. You know, the song coming like, oh, what is this that we're listening to? You know, and I'm like, really stupid girls. I know it's not. I know you girls are actors, but still, really stupid girls that really sit in cars and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
I on a light note, I think I was one of those girls growing up. And this was the conversation that me and our producer was having. I remember I was telling him, I remember when, we were talking about Billie Holiday and my appreciation to what Billie Holiday brought to the art form of singing. Right. I was talking about, because he did not like her version of Strange Fruit. And I was telling him, you know, if you're not a keen listener to jazz or a certain type of music or a certain type of vocalist, you would hate or you wouldn't understand the art form of what that singer is bringing. I was telling him when I was growing up in the 90s, when Erykah Badu came out, everything that came out on the radio with her voice over it, I used to laugh at it. Okay. I used to laugh because I thought the tone of her voice was funny. And it had to me, it was a sound that was just very comedic to me. And her phrasing was very comedic, not understanding that it was a style. It was her stylizing the music, the notes, the words. That was her style of phrasing. Once I got a lot older and I took a music appreciation class, thank God to music appreciation classes. Absolutely. You start to understand the art form of art, which is something that a lot of educational systems have thrown out the window. They've thrown out critical thinking classes, which is what we need right now. You all right? They're throwing away critical thinking classes out the window, and they threw away music appreciation classes out the window. Yes. Stuff that we need to understand as a culture, as a society, why music is the way that it is right now. Why things are the way they are right now. Those two things, thank God, thank you, Jesus, that I took advantage of in college, which made me love and appreciate Billie Holiday. for what she brought to the American voice, because there wasn't an American voice, people. Without Billie Holiday, you wouldn't have Ella Fitzgerald. You wouldn't have Dusty Springfield, Aretha Franklin, Natalie Cole, Whitney Houston, and Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. You wouldn't have these voices until somebody took on the platform of came with a unique tone, a unique sound, and said, I can sing the same song, but I can take it to a different route. That is inspiration. And one of the things that I had to realize growing up in this society of America, we don't take lightly to old things. We don't like to hear old nostalgia. Once things are old, they're thrown out the window. Right. We don't even like to research our own culture, our own music. We don't even know what is the American songbook, what is the American music art form. Do we even know that came from jazz, bebop, rock, R&B, country, gospel? All of that was a format. Even though before all this came, it was spiritual gospel music. That's then came on the jazz. Then came on. See, we don't even know that because we're too close to the mirror. You ever heard that gospel song? We're too close to the mirror, people, to see what we see. Wow. We only see what we want to see, but not what is important to us. Right. Listen to that gospel song, Too Close to the Mirror, because it says a lot about what is going on in our country right now. We have Trump people who do not want to see what Trump has been doing, to see the overall craziness of what this man has projected over the last 4 years. They're so busy listening to the message, but they're not listening to the overall effects of what the message has done to a whole country, because they're too close to the mirror. Wow. Good. They are too close to the mirror. We don't want to hear other music because we're too close to the mirror. We don't want to hear what our conscience is telling us because we're too close to the mirror to see what we see. And that is the American problem. We're too in our ecosystems or in our communities. We're too close to people who we want to hear what we call the truth, but it's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's what you want to hear, but it's not the whole truth, people. Got to come out of that mirror.
And we'll wrap it up with this point. That was very, very good. I think I couldn't. That was a great way of encapsulating the show once again. How it all pulls together. I love that.
Too close to the mirror.
Well, and there's a scripture that I'll put in place with that is that we see ourselves dimly in the glass, but yet walking away, forgetting the image that we've seen.
Wow.
Okay, forgetting the image that we've seen. We see ourselves dimly in the glass. So that means we don't even have a clear vision. Okay? But even in that lack of clear vision, we walk away even forgetting what we've seen. Wow. Guys, it has been a great night. Okay, once again, one of the things that we love about Truth Behind the Truth is that we run this show very organic. And we love the fact that it is, because there's always a message, as you said, a message within the message. There is truth behind the truth. Okay, embrace this truth. Immerse it, dive into it, accept it, accept the changes that you need to do in your own individual lives. Set a course for your life for 2021 and make sure that you obtain that. What do we say? Let's get it done in 21. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys are already getting it done in 21, but if you haven't started getting it done in 21, get it done in 21. I'm telling you, because this is your time. This is your time to change what that needs to be changed in your life. There are no New Year resolutions. There are only commitments. Okay, a New Year commitment is something that you're willing to make the change to make happen. Amen. Okay, let's get it done in 2021. Guys, remember our show next week. Okay, hey, we're kicking off that mini series. Men Have Voices Too. We look forward to you tuning in with us again next week for that particular show. It's going to be an exciting show. I mean, really, just do whatever you need to do to be at Cinder Point. Get your popcorn, get your corn, get your glass of wine, get your cognac, get your beer, get whatever you need to get. But get something, okay? But be in front of your computer, your television, however you watch this particular show. be here next week. Okay, it's going to be great. We'll have Actor Keith Burke with us. Will be with us next week, as well as Actor Sean Baker, and our brother, of course, Dr. Hillefall, will be back with us as usual.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
Y'all have a powerful night. Thank you again for tuning in with us tonight. It's been a super night as always. All right, y'all have a great one. Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.